Census figures show 17 million American children are living in poverty. That is 1 out of every 4 children in the U.S. Back in March, 60 Minutes first told the heartbreaking story of homeless kids in Central Florida, an area very hard hit by the slumping economy.
On 60 Minutes last night, Scott Pelley went back to Central Florida, where homeless shelters are overflowing, and some children are now living in cars and in trucks.
So we were really scared, so we'll stay up all night sometimes and watch over my mom and keep her safe.
How many of you, show me your hands, were worried about your safety while you were living in the car?
To me, it was scary because I thought something was either going to happen to my mom or my grandfather or my dad or me.
We weren't staying in a very good neighborhood, like where the car was parked, and someone came up and robbed my aunt for the little bit of money that we had.
Well, I worried that someone would just break in and steal my mom's purse.
Jade Wiley is 8 years old. She spent 3 weeks living in her car with her mom, her dad, 2 dogs, and a cat. Did you think you were ever going to get out of the car?
I thought I was going to be stuck in the car.
How'd you keep your spirits up?
I was still praying to God that somebody let us stay in the hotel.
And how did you get out of the car?
Well, there's this nice lady named Beth, and then she gave us a lot of money so we could stay at the hotel, and now I'm staying at the hotel.
That nice lady Jade spoke about is Beth Davalos, who runs the Families in Transition program for the Seminole County School District. Beth, good morning.
Good morning.
Last time we spoke, there were 1,500 homeless students in your school district alone. What's the situation there right now?
Well, sadly, the number continues to rise. Currently, we're up 30% from a year ago today. And sadly, if this number continues like this, we'll be looking at over 2,000 homeless children by the end of the school year.
Beth, give us a sense, what is the situation like there compared to other districts around the country?
Well, what you're seeing here is just one window to what's happening throughout the nation. Last year, throughout the nation, in most states, there was an 11% increase of homeless students throughout the nation.
Right. So it's getting worse in many spots.
Everywhere.
I think the images that a lot of people saw last night, they certainly are, they stun a lot of people that kids are in these situations. What is the biggest misconception out there about kids or people in general who are homeless right now?
Well, when people think about homelessness, they typically think about alcoholism, drug addiction, mental illness. But the truth is, the fastest growing segment of the homeless population are families. And the other misconception is that people think, well, just get a job. But that's such a challenge. Our families are sending out applications all over the place, and they just can't get a response. Or they're underemployed. They're working. They just don't make enough money to afford their housing.
How does this affect kids when they're in school? They're up all night. They're worried about their parents. They're worried about their siblings. They're worried about themselves. They're sleeping in a car. They're not getting any sleep. When they get to school the next day, I can't imagine that makes learning very easy.
Exactly. And it doesn't just start, when you're in the car. It starts before that, when you're in that house and your parent loses their job and they hear the conversations and the fear, and that eviction notice comes and they're told to quickly pack their belongings and find some place to go. The whole process is terrifying for children and for the parents, and they're all doing this together.
What are the solutions here, Beth?
It's a really tough situation right now, and the way we've approached it, if you go to our site, SeminoleHomelessKids.org, you'll find some of the ideas that we have done and that you can implement throughout the country. But there's so many things we can do as a community, because first of all, you have to go to your school districts. School districts are, in essence, the largest service homeless provider. And that's because we are federally mandated to identify homeless children. So we know who the children are. So if you're a mom with children, you can go to the school and collect cans for them. Or if you're a group of individuals or a city that wants to get together, like Hasselberg did, they developed a task force.
Thank you very much.
And they joined together.
I apologize for cutting you off. We're going to get cut off here.
Sure.
You're doing wonderful work. Thank you very much again for joining us.
Thank you.